The population of Kingston is just over 12,000. The number of complaints filed against the Turbines is 36. Of those who have filed complaints, there are a few that have been more vocal than Doreen Riley and Dan Els. As I'm sure you're all aware, there's a Facebook page dedicated to the town of Kingston where residents post information relating to Kingston happenings. There have been several postings on this page relating to the Turbines in Kingston. Regardless of the original information contained in the post or who originally posted the information, it is a given that the conversation will take a negative turn. Typically what will happen is if somebody comments favorably about the Turbines, Doreen will comment that they're against those who are suffering because of them. Dan has been known to comment negatively about the Turbines on posts originally having nothing to do with turbines. For example, a conversation that was started about the increase in the price of dump stickers. There are a handful of others who also join in the negative comments on anyone who supports the Turbines. It is because of this many people are afraid to say anything in favor of the Turbines. Doreen has said her family has had to leave their home for hours at a time. Dan contradicts this by saying his family are trapped 24/7. Although they're neighbors, they contradict what they need to do. Both say the Turbines keep their families awake all night. I personally have, at a general request of both Doreen and Dan, and publicly on Facebook, to all residents, on at least 15 occasions since April, driven to their street to see if I heard what they experience. I have not. I have gone both during the day and at night. On night visits, I never saw any lights on at the Riley home. There were almost always lights on and the television on in the Al's home, which can be seen from the road just driving by.
Point of order. I'm having some difficulties with this because you have a right to open forum, but discussing another citizen, I don't think that's what open forum is about.
Well,
that's what I'm having an issue with.
Just because, what do you think? I mean,
this is all comments that were made publicly.
Each is entitled to their opinions, but this may not be the forum for it unless we were discussing at that time the Turbines. Ms. Pasquale has every right to her opinion, but is this the right place for it right now?
I would suggest that it's the proper use of open forum to present your opinions, but not to present somebody else's opinions and argue their opinions in the forum. You're free to, I would say you're free to say whatever you want to say about your opinion, but I'd urge you to leave third parties out of it because there's nobody here to defend or contradict, or there's no verification of those statements. It's hearsay.
Every statement that I make in here with anyone else's name attached to it does come from some sort of public record, whether it's a court transcript or Facebook public postings, with the exception of one comment actually made by Mr. Randall himself privately to me.
do you have much more to say? Because I mean, Sandy, what do you think?
I don't agree with personal attacks during open forum, but I think a person's opinion should be allowed. I mean, that's what it's for. But personal attacks, we can't have any.
No, and I would like to clarify that I don't mean this as personal attack in any means. There is a method to where I'm going with this, and that's showing that there are more residents in Kingston who are in support of the Turbines, but that their voice is not being heard because of a select few and because of what happens with the behaviors of a select few.
Okay, can you start from that? Because then I think we understand the dialogue, so maybe if you can...
Well, it kind of...
Is that very much how you want to present it?
Sort of, and only because I'm not really skilled at public speaking, so I had written it out ahead of time, and it's not, like an hour-long statement or anything. At the same time, there are some good reasons that have been made publicly on things that just don't make sense, and I guess I could skip ahead to the part that pertains only to Mr. Randall, and as that pertains to upcoming votes, and my concern with his involvement in that, if you'd like.
Well, let me say this back at you. Not at
Sure, no, I understand.
But the board's position has been to follow the advice of DEP. So from that perspective, they're providing us with the information. We're not necessarily deciding, I mean, we haven't even talked about anything further than seeing what they come back we're working with DEP, who's going to be working with the vendor. And even the DEP is even evaluating the private study that was done for the Indian Pond Estate areas. So DEP has been our ally in this, and we're taking their lead. If they tell us something is amiss, then we'll respond accordingly. If they say everything is fine, we'll respond accordingly.
Okay, and I understand that. However, in a private but written conversation with myself, Mr. Randall said that he had no intention of having any testing done because, and I quote, "if things turn out the way I hope, then a study will not be necessary because the turbines will be gone." And so I have concerns as to whether or not he can be
When did I
impartial.
supposedly say that?
Oh, supposedly nothing. It's from Facebook. It's a private message from Facebook that I have a
When did
printout.
I supposedly say that?
I believe the exact date was April. I don't have the exact date. It was just after the election. Be more than happy to take a screenshot. I have my phone. I could pull it up on Facebook right now and show you the exact printout of it. Rather than, I have a printout of that doesn't show Facebook of the date, but it does show the time. It was,
Okay, we'll let Dennis briefly respond to that, and then we can't get into this level.
No, I'm not getting...
There's other concerns with regards to that too. His conduct, and I speak only personally, but his conduct on Facebook with regards mainly to the turbine has been to the point of harassment and bullying, which has gotten so bad with myself personally that I did have to seek legal counsel and am in the process of filing a defamation and harassment suit. I have documentation of what's been said on that.
Okay, I think this is kind of the level that we can't discuss
Yeah,
this.
the minute you said suit, it's...
Yeah, we can't take it.
There are concerns. I personally have concerns.
One, three.
We can't because you mentioned litigation.
No, I just want to say this in response. Like every member of this board, when I was elected, I took an oath of office. And that was to uphold and defend the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and every citizen here. I will not prejudge any vote until I've heard the facts on any issue.